Hi guys, it's Hannah and welcome back to a game of Fangs and Thrones. Now today I'm going to be doing my November book haul. I have it's a small-ish haul. I would say there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books. So let's just jump right in. So from a Luma crate, you may have seen the unboxing that I did, and for the October book, which was The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and this is so shiny, but it has the an exclusive cover. It's quite with the black sprayed edges that do pick up the light quite well. But this is a book, obviously, that is doing the rounds on BookTube at the moment. I'll quickly read the synopsis, even though I think everybody knows about this book or has at least heard of it. So France 1714. A desperate woman makes a desperate deal in the dark, a bargain to live forever but be remembered by none. So begins The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, shadow muse to artists throughout history, forgotten friend, confidant and lover. Slipping away with the morning light, Addie passes through lives, desperate only to leave a trace of herself, until the day she walks back into a small bookshop in Manhattan and meets Henry, who remembers her. After 300 years, Addie's life is restarting, but the devil never plays fair. As Henry and Addie's lives start to intertwine, they must face the consequences of the decisions they've made and the prices to be paid. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a dazzling adventure across centuries and continents, across history and art, about a young woman learning how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. And this cover is absolutely gorgeous. And there's nothing in the back. But yeah, have heard mixed things about this one. But all I know about it is what I've read from the synopsis, and I know that Addie and Henry are both bisexual, so there's got some good rep in that one. I think it also deals with depression as well, which is always a good thing to read about, because you know it happens. We need the representation. Next we have A Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry Maniscalco, and this was the Fairy Loot October box, and it is absolutely stunning. So with this one, 2 sisters, 1 murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself. Amelia and her twin sister Vittoria have been inseparable all their lives as Strigay, I think I said that right, witches who exist secretly among humans. They know the dangers of drawing attention and work at their family's renowned Sicilian restaurant, avoiding notice and persecution. But one night Vittoria doesn't come home, and it's not long before a distraught Amelia discovers the body of her beloved twin, desecrated beyond belief. Devastated, Amelia vows to find her sister's killer and seek vengeance at any cost, even if it means calling upon a dark magic that has long been forbidden. Then Amelia meets Wrath, one of the wicked princes of hell she has been warned against since she was a child. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, tasked by his master with solving a series of murders on the island, of which Vittoria is the latest victim. But when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. Oh, there's so many ways to display this beautiful book. We have a gorgeous foiling on the actual cover, and then we have the under the jacket artwork. So I don't know if I want to just leave this one blank. And I will be reading the author letter and the exclusive chapter that came with the book. So there's that one. Haven't heard much about this, but I do believe it is still quite new, and if I've got a book, I do try to avoid reviews just because I like to go into them not knowing much. Then we have Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and again, I know pretty much nothing about this book. And do know that it is very beloved on BookTube. There's no synopsis, so I'll just read from the back. I have stolen princesses back from sleeping barrow kings. I have burned I burned down the town of Tribon. I have spent the night with Florian and left with both my sanity and my life. I was expelled from the university at a younger age than most people are allowed in. I tread paths by moonlight that others fear to speak of during day. I have talked to gods, loved women, and written songs that make the minstrels weep. My name is Kvothi? You may have heard of me. So I think from what I do know of this book, it is set in 2 timelines. One where Kvothi, I'm going to say Kvothi, he is recounting his life to a person in a bar or an inn, and then the second is actually the story that Kvothi is telling, is saying. So we follow Kvothi, and I know that the older Kvothi can sometimes be a bit arrogant, and he's a bit of a character you hate to love. So I'm interested to pick this one up. And it's big. Why do I do this to myself with the big books that sit on the shelf and gather dust? Speaking of, well, this one's not too big actually. It is The Confession by Jessie Burton, and I did see the adaptation of The Miniaturist and did enjoy it, and I saw this for fairly cheap in Morrison's, so I picked it up. When Elise Mossieu meets the writer Constance Holden, she quickly falls under her spell. Connie is sophisticated, bold and alluring, everything Elise feels she is not. She follows Connie to LA, but in this city of strange dreams and razzle-dazzle, Elise feels even more out of her depth and makes an impulsive decision that will change her life forever. 3 decades later, Rose Simmons is trying to uncover the story of her mother who disappeared when she was a baby. Having learned that the last person to see her was a now reclusive novelist, Rose finds herself at the door of Constance Holden's house in search of a confession. So is this a murder mystery? And then it says, it's got a split door, split cover. The tagline is, how do you unlock your future when you can't find the key to your past? So I am quite interested to see this one. I think it might be in dual timeline, dual perspective between Elise and Rose, and a bit of a mystery. I think Jessie Burton does do the mystery aspect of books more than anything else. Then we have the sequel companion to Gumiho Wicked Fox, which is Dokubai Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho, and I'm so sorry if I said that wrong. But I won't go too much into the back because I don't want to give spoilers for Wicked Fox. But basically, within this one, we pick up after the events of Wicked Fox, which is a Seoul, Tokyo, which is set in Seoul, Tokyo, and follows the story of Mi-young, who is a gumiho or fox spirit, and she loses her fox bead, and she has to get that back or she dies. And then she also meets Ji-hoon, who gets involved and things happen. But in this book, we are following on from that, but we are seeing it from the perspective of Sumin, who is Mi-young's best friend, and Juno, who is a bit of a con man. If I remember right, I think he's a jinn or some part of the paranormal. But from the back, I think we're going to get more Korean Asian mythology coming into this, as it says Mi-young's lost fox bead has caused a tear between the world of the living and the world of the dead. So only way to repair the rift is to find the bead, or Mi-young has to pay with her life. So I think the stakes have been raised in this one. And then the only hardback that I've bought myself this month is Susanna Clarke's Piranesi, and the naked cover is absolutely gorgeous. So we have the Piranesi on the front, and then a little column with a satyr on the top, which I hope that's Piranesi. Piranesi lives in the house, perhaps he always has. In his notebooks, day after day, he makes a clear and careful record of its wonders, the labyrinth of halls, the thousands upon thousands of statues, the tides that thunder up staircases, the clouds that move in slow procession through the upper halls. Oh, that reminds me. That gives me Starless Sea vibes. On Tuesdays and Fridays, Piranesi sees his friend the Other. At other times, he brings tributes of food and water lilies to the dead, but mostly he is alone. Messages begin to appear scratched out in the chalk on the pavement. There is someone new in the house, but who are they and what do they want? Are they a friend, or do they bring destruction and madness as the Other claims? Lost texts must be found, secrets must be uncovered. The world that Piranesi thought he knew is becoming strange and dangerous. The beauty of the house is immeasurable, its kindness infinite. Why does that give me chills? That does not sound good. That sounds strangely foreboding. But yeah, again, haven't heard much about this. But I did enjoy. I think there's a theme going on here, and you'll see. I did enjoy the adaptation of Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I do want to, by this author, I do want to read it, but that book is massive. So this one is, I know it's newer and it has been a while since anything was published, but this is shorter. So we'll try this one and then we'll see what we think. Yeah, so that's that. I'm getting better at these stacks. But yeah, that's them. We'll just show you the. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes me to read these. If you've read them, let me know what you think, and let me know what you've been buying this month, and I'll see you in the next one.